Hi there, Dolly friends. I am so happy that you're here today. There's a lot going on in the doll cupboard today. I'm going to tell you all about this cute little Heubock doll that I bought at an estate sale. The same estate sale I bought the Madame Alexander dolls. I bought some other dolls there that need some repair. We're going to do a little bit of investigating, and we're going to have the start of the giveaway. I'm going to show you what I'm giving away for the 1,000 subscriber thank you, because I'm so grateful that you're all here. Well, I paid about $5 for this little biscuit doll made by Ernst Heubock in Germany, somewhere between 1915 and 1920. And she's just a little doll head, and I put some glass doll eyes in there like antennas. I'll show you again in a minute. And I just kind of set her here with some other things. I also bought this beautiful photograph of a young girl dressed as the May Queen. I think it's just stunning. I think I paid $1 for that. The back says, Marguerite Edna Casey, Ogden, Utah, 23rd Street, 14 years, married name Marguerite Rutledge. So I think that was written later by a family member. And the person running the estate sale mentioned that this girl, Marguerite, was a relative of the family. That tiny picture was something sent to me by my cousin, but I thought it was cute. So let me just show her to you again. I think she's so darling. She is just so cute. I probably won't do much in the way of cleaning her up. I put these little antennae in there. She just looks like the cutest doll bug. At the same estate sale, I bought 2 Armand Marseille dolls that need some help. This one is a Florodora doll. She was made between 1901 and 1921. She has an interesting body that's composition and wood and ball jointed. I've never worked with anything like that, but I am gonna see if I can put her back together. I paid $10 or less for these Armand Marseille dolls. This one is Columbia, and he's a little bit older. He was made between 1904 and 1915. He has a very old body. His arms are made of bisque up to his elbows, and the rest of his body is cloth stuffed with sawdust. In one of his legs, the sawdust is leaking out. Someone has just stuffed it into a sock. So I will need to fix that, but that is one of my least favorite things to do because I don't really know how to do it and there's not really a good way to do it. So I won't be working on him today. I do really love the face of this doll though. Well, before we start working on dolls, I'm really excited to show you something I've been working on. I am fascinated and a little bit obsessed with dolls' houses for dolls' houses. So I sketched out a little plan for myself, cut some basic pieces, and got to work. I started by just gluing the sides to the back, and I'm just dry fitting the floors here. I made some templates for the wallpaper, thinking I wanted to just put both floors on one template and do it that way. I just thought it would be easier and more even. I ended up scrapping that idea because I realized I would end up gluing the floors to the actual paper template, and I didn't think that would be secure. So I just ended up just gluing the paper straight into the house. The floors, I had an idea how I wanted the floors to be, so I just took my craft knife and carved some little planks. The wood is nice and soft, and I made them different colors. I wanted the attic floor, which I'm doing here, to be unfinished, so to speak, so I just made it kind of plain, and I'm going to just use this little felt piece to be like a little rug that would go over it. I didn't want it to go all the way to the end. I wanted some of the wood to show there, something like that. That'll be the attic floor there. Here are my 3 floors, the attic floor, the bedroom floor, and the ground floor. So they're all a little bit different. And then of course I had to turn them over and make the ceilings. So I did that just very basically. I used 2 pieces of wood I cut and glued them together for the pitched roof. Don't worry, I do end up erasing all my writing. I wanted to add a little bit of detailed trim to either the roof or the front of the house, so I just used these inexpensive coffee stir sticks and just a regular hole punch to punch a little scallop in there, and then I sanded it. I might add a different color. The roof needs to be hinged because I have the attic space. This was a long, tedious process for me. I'm sure due to my own steep learning curve. So I won't make you relive my own experience here. Let's move on. For the windows, I just used some simple squares and painted them and glued them on there. I love dolls houses that have a front panel that opens up, so I wanted something like that. It was a little tedious to make the windows, but I did it. I made a couple doors and used my ball tool to sort of press in some detail on them. The little round parts are going to be like a window that's in the door. I used some pieces of the stir sticks to make a little eave to go over the door. I just have a piece of tape for the hinge on the front panel right now to just kind of see how it's all fitting together. The way I approached this project was to really just let myself be inspired and creative as I went along building things, and I really enjoyed this process. It helps spark one's creativity, I would say. As you see, I was inspired to make a little fireplace, and I did the same thing, just did a little sketch and used my craft knife to carve some little grooves in the wood and create bricks. I found that the more I worked, the more ideas would keep coming to me, and I really loved that. Here's my sad little attempt at some teeny tiny furniture to go inside. I wasn't very good at it, but I just had to do something. Here it is kind of sitting in here. It's very crudely made, but I like the fireplace that went in there. And of course, I decided the roof needed color and I wanted to do some thatching. Unfortunately, the little shrubs I bought from Temu, I didn't realize were all glued together and not loose, so I had to scrape it to get the pieces off and mix it with some glue. It took me forever to do that, but I was super happy with the outcome. I think it really looks cute. And taking more inspiration from the trying houses like the one I bought, I decided to have a go at doing a little painted garden around the house. This bit of practice will help me when I decide to paint my trying house. I'm actually totally loving this little house. What do you think? Dolly repair time. This is such a pretty doll. I sure hope I can get her head on her securely and get her arms and legs back on. I love her little wig, but it's really not staying on. I'm gonna have to get a little pate or something and fix it that way. But here's a good look at her. She's just lovely. I'm gonna clean her up. I've never had a doll with this type of body, so I hope I can figure out the way she's strung. She had a little note on her back, just like the Alexander dolls did, made in Germany, Floridora 94, which was probably the year she was purchased. Her wig says 100% cheveux naturel, made in France, and I think that just means human hair. This was the dress she came in. It's a contemporary version of an old-fashioned dress that a doll of her era might have been dressed in. I don't particularly care for it. Her underwear are antique, And I kind of like dolls in their kind of nakedy state anyway, but I don't really, I'll have to find something for her. Her little shoes appear to be handmade. They're made out of kid leather and they are so cute. They are absolutely adorable. One's a little bigger than the other one. They don't fit her quite right, and here's some little socks. So I'm gonna clean her up and see what I can do with her. There's a lot of residue around her head, and I think I would like to try to get that off. So let's cut her open and see what's actually going on in here. You can see her body and limbs are made of composition, and the upper parts of her legs and arms are made of wood. And there's little balls, like ball joints in her elbows and knees, but they seem like they're glued in there. So I do not know how I would replace the string in there. I think I'm going to try to get the ball out of there. And it appears that it's been glued with some resin type of glue. Seems like an unusual way to string a doll. So there's a little metal nail through the elastic, and then it's just drawn up through the ball joint, and then the nail prevents it from going all the way through, and then it's strung up to the head that way. That seems so odd to me. I want to show you how easy it is to get glue residue off your bisque doll. I'm just using a damp washcloth. You can even just leave the damp washcloth on the head to soften the glue. So it will soften, it just takes time. So have patience. You can use your craft knife to help lift up the glue, but only do this if the glue is soft, and take your time. You definitely don't want to scratch the bisque. I'm using toothpicks and wood glue to create a little peg to which I plan to attach a hook and then string everything together that way. Of course, it will have to be extraordinarily secure, so I have to be patient and let it dry overnight. Okay, now I'm impatient because it's the next day and I want to make sure everything is working out. Let me see if it's secure. Oh. There's no crying in miniatures. Backup plan. I'm using a wire coat hanger, which I cut with wire cutters, and a hook, which I made myself. Don't do this. Buy some hooks. It was just too time consuming. I use super glue to fix the peg in there, and it's as secure as it's gonna get. I know I said I wasn't going to do a closed loop again, but I am, and I'm doubling up my elastic because again, I don't have the correct materials. One set of closed loop from the head to each leg and then through all the parts, including the ball joint, and then I'm attaching it to the hook. For the arms are just going to be attached to each other. They were much easier, and I'm just using a single thickness of the elastic, so that's much better, and everything is much tighter on her little body. Now it's just a matter of trimming these edges and attaching all these loops to her head. All right. There it is. Oh my goodness, she's whole again. I think she is much happier. She is happy to have her head on. I wish I had more options for antique clothing for my dolls. I'm just insufferable with that. I ended up putting on a 1930s dress on her, which does not fit. I'll probably just take it off and leave her in her underwear. I had no end of trouble with this wig. Here's her little underwear under there, and I think she's just adorable. She's so happy. What do you think of her? Try to excuse the dress, but it is a vintage 1930s dress. I'd like to find something else for her. I'm sorely lacking in antique doll clothes. My poor little poppets. I am so completely grateful to each and every one of you for helping my little channel to grow and supporting me in my amateur endeavors. I am just having the best time and learning so much from all your expertise and your comments and suggestions. I only wish I had something for each and every one of you. This little house I made specifically for this giveaway. I did try to age it a little bit so it would look at home in your own dollhouse as a toy for your dolls. I've never made anything even remotely like this. In fact, you've seen everything I've ever made in terms of minis. But I was really happy with the way it turned out. And yeah, I am going to be making myself another one because I actually really loved it so much. Not because it's well made or anything, but just because I'm just love a doll's house in a doll's house. That whole concept just fascinates me and I absolutely love it. I wanted to give you a little bit better look at it, and you'll have to be very gentle with it because it's delicate. The windows are just glued on. You saw me do it. And here's the back. I had a lot of trouble with the hinges, so be careful when you're opening it. I will sign my initials on the back with some Roman numerals. And I wanted to do a little fireplace, so I like the way that turned out. The hinge is, or this latch, I had the most trouble with. It is very precarious. So whoever takes this prize, just open it just the tiniest little flick will open it. And the hinge only opens to about a 90-degree. So I tried really with lots of difficulty to make tiny little furniture. I just have it in there with some tacky wax. So in shipping, it may get jostled around and my feelings are not going to be hurt if you throw it away and put your own in there. I used some beads to make the lights. See, it's still hard to get a good image there. I don't really know how to get a good image. Well, that's as good as it's going to get. Yeah. And there's the little fireplace in there. There's only a couple accessories, the flowers on the table, and there's actually a little glass on the nightstand in the bedroom. I really wanted a cottage look and a thatched roof. So I did that, as you saw. Oh, well, let's see the door here and the curtains. And there is the attic, and you can decorate that your own way. So that is the first offering, and then you just have to be really just barely touch that thing. If you can, whoever gets it, if you want to find a way to make a better latch, let me know. Let me know what you do. Anyway, I hope someone will enjoy that. I hope someone's doll will enjoy that. And then of course the fireplace, which I told you I was going to make in a 1/12 scale. I also intended to give that away, and I've aged it quite a bit. I hope whoever gets it doesn't mind that. I did not paint the back, and I will put my little initial back there. So that's one of your choices. And then I wanted to have one more thing because I like threes. And last year, before I started my channel, I made these bags. I took a picture of my dolls that I bought at what I call the first doll estate sale. And I just went online and designed a couple tote bags, and I had a couple of them printed, and I put Dolly Mine on it. Yeah, so there's that. So someone will win that. It's just a small little tote bag. It's good for going to pick up a couple things from the grocery store or the market, and it's brand new. So I had a few of them made, and I have a couple of them left, and I thought I would give one away in the giveaway. So I'll choose 3 winners, and like I said, the first person gets first pick, second person second pick, and the last person will get what's left. I'm so honored that you were interested in watching my amateur channel. I really think this is a great community, and I love being part of it. And thank you all so much for your comments and stopping by, and hopefully the channel will continue to grow, and I'll continue to learn and share with you. I love the things that you share with me in your comments, so please keep doing that. You can leave a comment on this video to enter. Contest will be open for you to leave a comment between now and August 29th, which is a Tuesday. And then on the 30th, I will do a little drawing and post it with my video that day. I will put all the details in the description box. Thank you all so much. Be sure you come back and visit me next time in the doll cupboard. Ah.